What was it like working with Tony Kaye?
Well, Tony is a remarkable individual. He's a creative genius. It was a very collaborative process, and we had a lot of fun and really very creative, you know. And so he has a spontaneity that is inspirational.
What's your take on the film?
Well, my take on the film, it's a very complex film, and it's very hard to give you a very concise answer, but it's, I think it is a very real, yet stylized look at the precarious state that we exist in, and failings of public school and the failings of a lot of people's lives in the home front, and our ability to do better. And it's a very grim depiction of the film, but it's also a very hopeful story. And I think through an awareness of all the pitfalls around us, we have to pay attention to the fragility of the life around us and our loved ones.
And there are many people who like your character, but bad things happen to all people. Why do you think he specifically decided to be detached? Did he just not know anything else?
Well, my character suffered tremendously as a young man, as a boy, excuse me, and that created this defense mechanism, which I do feel is pretty universal, that people retreat, whether it's in their own minds or physically from others. People retreat when they're hurt by others in certain situations. And well, that's not really great for evolving, and it creates a very detached, isolated state of mind. And I think he manages to overcome this through the story and through his encounters with these two young girls who are very meaningful in his life. And he's very generous in trying to help them, and within that process of helping them, he actually saves himself and pulls himself out of his own misery and feeling of loneliness.
What did you like most about your character's journey?
Well, I'm attracted to portraying human beings who are just that. They're humans, and they're flawed, and they are victims and enemies to themselves at times. And I like to bring characters like that to light and to share them, and I think we can all relate to a lot of elements within characters like Henry. And sometimes when you turn it into art, when you make something into a film or a painting or a song, you can turn these very negative things into something very beautiful and meaningful and moving that speak to others and help us all feel connected and less isolated, and we can relate to the similarity we all have, and we're all overcoming obstacles. We all have in our own lives things that are difficult, that prevent us from being present and here right now. So it's an honor to make a movie like this.
And some school systems focus on high scores, some focus on actual teaching, but few, if any, teach students about relationships and relating to people. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's difficult to teach about the complexity of relationships as opposed to black and white test, a curriculum. I think a lot of that has to be, yes, there should be more guidance in school, but I think really the main dilemma is that there's not enough guidance in the home, and so if you don't have guidance in the home and you don't have guidance at school, and you're just picking up little bits along the way and hanging out with your friends and who are getting into trouble, then you're not destined to much of a hopeful future or a way of solving these problems thoughtfully. And the key is to have mentors and people that can help instill the right values.
Okay, and last question. Your character ranted how the media world, advertisements, etc., send messages every day telling people lies. What is your take on that? How are we bombarded with ads, etc., telling us what we need to be this or that?
Well, you work in PR. You know that there is a certain degree of truth and a certain degree that is fabricated. And, I live in a world that there is a lot that is fabricated, and I aspire to find truth, and so I'm very conscious of that dilemma, and my character's diatribe about that. We're fed a lot, and we're fed a lot of things that aren't authentic and aren't based on fact. And it's up to us to be able to differentiate that for ourselves. And it's up to us to, not perpetuate that as well. I mean, that's my responsibility. I try to find material that is based on truth and try to do that with my work, and also when I'm asked to be a spokesman for that material, I like to speak honestly about my thoughts and feelings about it, and much less the superficial aspects that are sometimes asked of me.